Hey guys, this is Bruce, and this is another cybersecurity engineering position. Been getting a lot of these lately, back to back. I'm not sure what resume they're seeing, but man, I really hit it out of the park on this one. This is from a few days ago, and it is for a cybersecurity engineering job in Anaheim, California. All right, so it says this is Siva from Oloop Technology Solutions. Given below are details for a position for one of our clients, and was wondering if you would be interested in or recommend someone else, you guys. I'm recommending you guys to possibly be interested in this job if you're interested in this job. Job title: Cybersecurity Engineer. Where? Location: Anaheim, California. That's over by Disneyland in LA, somewhere around LA area. Duration: long-term contract. Relevance: 8 years of experience is what they're 8+ years of experience. Wow, that's a lot of years of experience. Okay, let's just briefly go through the duties and responsibilities here. They want you to evaluate current system environments. They want you to conduct research, recommendations, and implement innovative system technologies that can enhance reliability, security, with emphasis on cybersecurity technologies, productivity, and agility of IT infrastructure. So evaluate, to me, that means like you're going to be doing, it sounds to me like you're doing scanning. You're using technologies to evaluate the current environment and do research to recommend ways to protect some of the mechanisms they already have in place. What else do you have? Identifies assets and assess risk, threats, vulnerabilities of IT asset in accordance with accepted industry, personal, and government standards. It sounds like it's some kind of government agency, but I'm not seeing who it is in Anaheim. I rarely see jobs from that area for this kind of work. But it says government, so maybe it means state or local government. I don't know. So you got to actually be able to align their security policies with the government standards, and those security designs have to have integrity, availability, confidentiality, non-repudiation, and contract compliance. So all those things. So it's sounds like a lot of security policy type stuff where you're saying, okay, what assets does the organization have? Assets meaning like where are their servers located? What servers do they have that are super important? That if these servers dropped off, it would hurt our availability, meaning our clients would not be able to access those secure servers. And we have very important information on those servers that can't be tampered with or seen, like maybe it's social security numbers on those systems or something like that. Okay, let's keep going. Identifies and recommends cyber strategies for technology development based on stakeholder requirements. All right, so you're going to take what the organization needs, what are their requirements. You know, those requirements could be in line with the state, local, federal government, and you're going to say, okay, does this organization meet these requirements? And if so, how effectively do they meet those requirements? That's what they're asking you to do. They have tools to do this. They have methods and best practices to do this. All this stuff is documented. So it's not like you're coming up with stuff off the top of your head, but you do have to have experience to know, okay, I've seen this before. I've seen this in my other organization. This is how we did this. All that helps. Okay, let's keep going here. Drives security reviews, identifies gaps in security architecture, design, and this is like working with other organizations to know what the designs are, and then having some rudimentary information on knowledge of best practices in networking, in servers, in talking to all these other teams. Sometimes the teams will actually tell you, you don't have to be an expert in networking, because the network guys will tell you, hey man, we don't have the proper, we're still operating on old routing technology. And you're like, what does that mean? And they'll explain it, like old routing technologies is RIP and open shortest path first, and we need this newer version, right? And then you would document all that stuff. They explain it to you. You sit in a meeting with them and the managers and the system owners and say, we're operating on this old legacy routing protocol. We need to transfer to this one. And then the engineer takes it away and say, okay, here's what I mean by legacy. Here's what somebody can do to exploit it. Here's why you don't want to use it. We want to use this one. Okay, how much is that going to cost? That's the kind of stuff that happens in those kinds of meetings. That's the kind of information that they want you to do, as looking at the strategies and looking at the gaps, identifying gaps in the security architecture. Those are the kinds of things you do. You're not expected to know everything, is what I'm saying. You're expected to coordinate, or know enough to coordinate with your architects, your engineers, and your manager and the information system owner to bring everything together, you know. So, but you have to be competent enough, you have to know enough to actually identify some vulnerabilities in their system or their architecture, and have the wisdom to listen to your team too. That's another big thing. Okay, let's keep going. Owns and documents the implementation of security controls and creates auditable evidence for security measures. Okay, this is a big one. Like, a lot of my job is just making sure security controls are in place. I mean, a good portion of it, that's what you're doing. I mean, it just takes so much time to do, and you happen to do that annually to all security controls, and you're talking about hundreds of security controls. And sometimes the organization will allow you to break them apart if they're smart. They'll say, okay, this year we're gonna look at this 25%, and then next year we're gonna look at this other 25%. So I have ways to not having to do all of them every year, but you never know. Some organizations do them all at once every year. Develops and recommends security controls, identifies key security objectives to maximize software. Okay, leads translation of security controls into technical specifications and guidance to the stakeholders, and enables adequate implementation. So you're working with the security engineers, the security the system administrators, the network engineers, the firewall guys, and the thing is, you know the risk management framework. You know that these standards have to be met. And here the thing is, like, you use a scanner or a SCAP tool or SEC tools, and those tools, a lot of times you scan and it'll tell you, here's the vulnerabilities, here's what you have. There's a lack of a firewall has these ports open, right? So then you would go take that and say, hey, firewall team, have we documented these ports that are open? Yes. Why? And then the documents explain, why are these ports open? We need them because we have to do SECM on these ports, or we have to do frame relay on these ports, or we have to do routing on these ports, whatever it is, right? Because there's a reason why. So you document, you have to know all those controls, and then you have to document each one of those. Okay, let's kind of go through. There's a lot going on here. These guys are really specific. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and skip ahead. All the rest of the information will be below, but I want to get to the essential education, because they're like going to town on this one. They said they're desired is a bachelor's degree in science or related field. They want 6 years of IT experience, with 3 years of those being security. They want one of the following certifications: CISSP, CISM, CRISC, CISA, and then they also take a mastery of cybersecurity best practices. Oh no, they want you to have a mastery of cybersecurity best practices and standards, NIST and ISO, which means, they're saying NIST, that means a government agency. Master of computer networking concepts, protocols, networks. They're really wanting you to know a lot here and have a lot of experience. And then they go on to they break down the knowledge, skills, and abilities. This is definitely government. They're saying they want you monitoring threats with a SIEM. They're mentioning antivirus. They're mentioning TCP/IP. They're mentioning OS management and networking, SANS, NAS. I mean, just the list goes on and on. So that's it, guys. The good thing about this is very detailed. So if you were, if you fit in this, you'll definitely know for sure whether or not this is for you. But I'm going to go ahead and put all those details below. And if you are interested in getting into this field, if you are interested in doing remote work in IT, any of that stuff, if you want to know more information, stuff I don't post on YouTube, much deeper stuff, then go to this link right here. Sometimes I post free stuff, but also there's paid stuff that goes way deeper on how you can get these opportunities that I get every week. All right, that's it, guys, for this one. See you on the next one.